Welcome, everybody. Welcome to PiperFest, the AI SDR event of the year. Thank you so much for being here. Today, we're going to take you on a journey to learn everything about the AI SDR movement and how to bring Piper, the AI SDR, onto your team. You're going to hear from industry experts, thought leaders, CMOs, CEOs, and companies that are actively transforming and future-proofing their organizations right now. But first, let's get right into our new product announcement. As we look back on the generative AI revolution of the last 2 years, we've quickly moved from the arrival of ChatGPT, the fastest growing app in internet history, to a Gen AI revolution for consumer use cases, that's obvious, a Gen AI revolution for business use cases, and now a Gen AI revolution for software vendors. 2023 was really the year of the AI copilot. Every software vendor unveiled a ride-along AI assistant. But now in 2024, it's the year of the AI worker, with AI performing entire job functions, operating in a fully autonomous manner. And this trend has been underway. At Qualified, we've been asking ourselves a really big question. And that question is this: what does generating pipeline look like in a world where everything is automated and AI is doing the work? And the answer to that question is Piper, the AI SDR. We unveiled Piper earlier this year as an inbound AI SDR that works on the website to engage and convert buyers. What can she do? She can automatically identify and segment web traffic. She can proactively engage VIP buyers. She can handle complex Q&A. She can position and qualify on the fly. She can serve offers. She can capture leads. She can book meetings for AEs. And she can hand off conversations to her human colleagues. She can also run workflows that move data and communicate with your entire team. It's incredibly powerful. And the market reception to Piper, it's been nothing short of unbelievable. Within just a few months, hundreds of CMOs at the world's leading brands have hired Piper onto their teams. And Piper, backed by the entire Qualified platform, has delivered results, both in terms of a massive impact on pipe gen and cost savings in the form of SDR headcount. And while that alone is exceptional, our customers have asked us to do more. They've been driving us to do more. You've told us that creating an AI SDR for your website is mission critical, and that's where we started with Piper. But the full job scope of an inbound SDR, it's much more than that. You've asked us one question: what about email? Will Piper be able to follow up with and nurture all of my inbound leads? And our answer to that question is yes. If Piper's going to be a fully autonomous AI SDR, she has to do just that. Now, what do we mean when we say Piper has to follow up with and nurture all my inbound leads? Well, our websites are still littered with contact sales forms. They generate leads. Demo and consultation request forms that generate leads. Product trial request forms that generate leads. In-person and virtual events that generate leads. And buyers who express curiosity at the top of the funnel, maybe they download content, and all of that generates leads that have to be nurtured down the funnel. Well, how have we been following up with leads traditionally? Most of us have been using an entire system of workflows and processes that were built more than a decade ago, and they were designed around the capacity of a team of human SDRs. In fact, if you've ever said MQL, you're probably doing this. Does all of this look familiar to you? It doesn't take an expert to see that this process is extremely slow and incredibly inefficient. And what does all of this impact most? What does introducing all of this friction impact most? Pipeline. The data doesn't lie. If you can respond to an inbound lead within 5 minutes, you're 20 times more likely to generate qualified pipeline and close a sale. But in the age of AI, it doesn't have to be this way. Can Piper, the AI SDR, solve this mess for our customers? I certainly hope so. She already does a ton of work to engage and convert visitors on the website, and that's great. But in order to fully automate the inbound pipe gen process, Piper has to do more. Piper needs to follow up with every qualified inbound lead, and to do that, Piper has to work across the most important channels of communication with every B2B buyer. That includes the website, and now, starting today, email. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm incredibly excited to introduce to you Piper Email. Piper Email is going to allow your AI SDR to handle 5 new inbound pipe gen use cases. She can now follow up with bottom of the funnel leads who request access to your sales team. She can get a meeting on the books instantly for those who request a demo or consultation. She can initiate a sales discussion for qualified buyers who enter your free trial process. She can follow up with people who attend your events and are looking for next steps. And she can nurture top-of-the-funnel buyers and bring them down through the funnel. Piper, the AI SDR, can do all of this seamlessly without any of the traditional friction that software and human SDRs bring. And she can do it all intelligently, instantly, and at scale. Even better, Piper can work seamlessly across your website and email. She's got you covered on all fronts because you never know exactly how and when a buyer is going to want to engage. The buyer's in charge of the journey, and Piper has to deliver a fully cohesive experience across all channels. She is the smartest, most capable, hardest working SDR you've ever hired. So what are we waiting for? Let's get right to the demo and show you the new capabilities of Piper, the AI SDR. Maura, Sarah, over to you.
Thanks, Craig. As marketers, we have different touch points across our website designed to engage and convert inbound leads and generate pipeline. Of course, we have Piper, the AI SDR, who's working around the clock to accomplish her pipe gen goals. She's having live sales conversations, answering questions, capturing leads, surfacing offers, and scheduling meetings. Piper is totally on fire. But there are so many other ways to capture leads on your site. We're using qualified forms to capture event registrations and qualified offers to capture top-of-the-funnel leads that download content. We're using qualified meetings to instantly book time with buyers who express interest in scheduling a demo. And of course, we have traditional marketing forms across our site for high-intent leads, like our contact sales forms. We have all of these different mechanisms to capture inbound leads. But where do all of these leads go? Well, now they have a new home right inside of Qualified, where you can see all of the lead and account activity from your marketing organization. And what's so special about this? It's the Lead 360. It's the most comprehensive view about every inbound lead that comes in the door. The second an email address is captured, Qualified automatically enriches that lead, uses cookies from marketing automation platforms and pulls in previous interactions, plugs in relevant information from your CRM, and even surfaces proprietary data about website behavior and intent. Plus, it gives you a visual timeline of all lead activity. But that's not all. We also have the Account 360, which shows you a complete picture of each account. Who's on their buying committee, their target account tier, old dead or lost opportunities, the list goes on. And again, we have that visual timeline, but this time of every interaction members of this account have had with your brand. When you put the Lead 360 and the Account 360 together, this is the most comprehensive view of leads and account that your marketing team has ever seen. And this is what fuels Piper. Piper knows all of this rich information so that she can get to work on converting inbound leads into pipeline.
So now let's show you what you've all been waiting for, Piper Email. We'll start with our first use case. A new inbound lead comes in through a contact sales form. These are P1 leads that require smart, timely email follow-up. To get started, I can quickly identify all of my contact sales leads. And remember all of that lead and account data that we have? I can use that information to filter down this list even further so Piper is only working leads that meet my ideal customer profile. Show me contact sales leads that work for a company in the US with more than 100 employees. Nice. Now let's create Piper email campaign for these contact sales leads. I can select from a campaign template to get started. This makes the email campaign creation process quick and easy. Next, I can lay out the foundation of this campaign. I tell Piper how long she should work these leads, outline her goal of booking a meeting, give guidance on when to remove them from a sequence, and so forth. Next up, I can coach Piper on how to treat these leads. Over on the left, we're giving her instructions, which are essentially prompts. I can tell Piper about the context of this campaign. Piper, these are contact sales leads, and your goal is to schedule meetings with these buyers. And then I can give her some guidance on length and tone. Keep it friendly and professional and get to the point quickly. I can control her persistence level. Let's stay top of mind, but not be spammy. And I can load her up with some email examples from my best human SDRs. Piper, check out how Rich is doing it. So she knows how her coworkers sound and can emulate that language. Okay, so Piper has the backstory on this campaign and she's been coached on how to email these buyers with some simple prompts. And of course, she has all that Lead 360 and Account 360 data in her mind, which helps her deliver personalized emails. But as a marketer, I need to believe that Piper is going to be perfect in how she executes these emails. I need to trust her email skills. So now to the fun part, the AI email sequence simulator. As marketers who have been brought up in the school of pre-canned email templates and snippets, this is a totally new world, so pay attention. This is where I can test drive how Piper is going to email my leads. It's important to note, every single email that Piper sends is custom and based on what she knows about each lead, their account, and their website activity. No two Piper emails are going to be the same. So in the AI email sequence simulator, you can test drive how she'd email based on different scenarios. First up, let me test how Piper would initially follow up with an inbound lead. Okay, pretty straightforward. Now, let me test how she'd follow up with an inbound lead who didn't open email number 1, but later visited our pricing page. Interesting. You can see Piper reference the unopened email and that pricing page activity, all while trying to get a meeting scheduled. Okay, let's try one more just for fun. How would Piper reply to someone who responded to her first email with a few questions about integrations? Look at this. She is referencing all of her knowledge about your company and gives a perfectly on-message response. This is mind-blowing. We just set up an email campaign for our contact sales leads without any rigid time-based rules or pre-written templates. Piper, the AI SDR, is going to craft a completely bespoke email for each unique inbound lead. We gave Piper some campaign information and coaching, and she is off to the races. So let's see it in action. So a new inbound lead just comes in through a Contact Us form. Her name is Beth. And within seconds, that custom follow-up email from Piper lands in Beth's inbox. Talk about speed to lead. Piper references Beth's lead and account information and swiftly invites Beth to schedule a meeting. And when Beth clicks through, she can schedule her first call with her account team instantly. What a seamless buying experience. From form filled to meeting booked in a matter of minutes, not hours or days like the old way. This Contact Us follow-up email just resulted in a $60K stage 1 opportunity, and Piper did it all autonomously.
Okay, that's awesome. But we've got plenty of other inbound leads that we want Piper to work, like our event leads. As marketers, we put so much time and money into virtual and in-person events. And what do we get from them? We get lead lists. Historically, I would have to pass event leads over to our ops team, write out email templates for follow-up, and add them to my SDR's queue to work when they get downtime. But time is money. And I want to follow up with my event attendees while my brand is still top of mind. So let's see how Piper would follow up with leads that just attended our big virtual event. I can first set up the campaign focusing Piper on the event attendees that meet my ideal customer profile. And next up, I give Piper context. These folks just attended our virtual event where we had luminary speakers from the finance industry talking about the future of spend management. Let's make sure we share the recordings from the event as well as other webinar recordings they might find helpful. Invite them to join a sales call to talk about how we can serve their company. I can then simulate the types of emails Piper will be sending, and let's fire away. So here's an email that Piper sends to one of our many event attendees, Brian, thanking him for joining the event and sharing the recording link. And of course, as every good SDR does, Piper includes an invitation to schedule a meeting. And as soon as this email is sent, Piper is cataloging that email send as an activity on Brian's lead record, right above his recent event attendance. So when Brian lands on the site, she taps into that knowledge and she greets him with a completely contextual message. Hey Brian, thanks for attending our recent event and for checking out my email. How cool is that? Piper just facilitated a seamless experience from email to conversation, and she gets a meeting on the books. And this is the power of Piper. She's not just limited to email. She is a fully autonomous AI SDR who can do all of the things a human would. She can email, she can have conversations, and most importantly, Piper can convert. And there we have it, another stage 1 opportunity converted by Piper. This deal's for $85K. Piper is on a roll. So we've seen Piper follow up with a contact sales lead and book an instant sales meeting. Then we saw her follow up with an event attendee and convert them on site. But let's show one more use case. How can Piper handle top-of-funnel buyers who download content? Let's give it a spin. There's a popular ebook that you have on your site, The State of Spend Management.
Typically, these content leads go straight into marketing nurture. They're not a priority for human SDRs to work. But when you have an AI SDR who can send hundreds of thousands of emails at once, why not send them Piper's way too? Why not leverage Piper to get more out of these content leads? So I'll set up a campaign for these content leads, and I'll let Piper know how to work them. Go a bit softer with these leads. They're top of funnel. They're just getting familiar with our brand. Serve them up with relevant content to keep warming them up. And I can simulate her emails to make sure they're striking the right tone. Okay, we're ready to go. So a new content download comes in. Her name is Lucy, and she works at a Target account. And Piper sends that initial email. She thanks Lucy for their download and surfaces up other content that they might find helpful. To no surprise, since she's top of funnel, Lucy doesn't respond. But 9 days later, spend efficiency comes up as a topic of conversation in a meeting. And Lucy comes back to the site and starts poking around. And remember how Piper is cataloging all of our inbound sales lead activity? Piper knows Lucy's checking out more content and her intent is heating up. So at the exact right time, Piper sends another email. This time, referencing the web pages Lucy was checking out. I know we sent you our report last week and you've been exploring our customer stories. I thought you'd enjoy reading this news story about how Lemonade improves spend efficiency by 2x. How cool is that? Piper is doing timely, contextual lead nurturing based on buying behavior. Historically, marketing nurture emails are based on what's right for the marketer. But now, this is buyer-driven email nurture made possible by AI. So we've hooked Lucy. She clicks through and Piper welcomes her. Lucy's impressed and asks a few questions. Maybe it is time for her to learn more, and she wants to know how pricing works. Now, this topic is best served for the sales rep on Lucy's account. So when the moment is right, Piper hands off to her human coworker, and they agree to schedule a call. We just went from content download to live sales rep conversation, all facilitated by Piper. And guess what we get? Another opportunity, led by Piper with a little help from her human coworker.
And with Piper workflows, these opportunities are all flowing right into Salesforce. And you can see how Piper, the AI SDR, is contributing to inbound pipeline, and she's doing it all at scale. Piper Email, alongside the entire qualified pipeline AI platform, is a surefire way to boost pipeline and efficiency. Back to you, Craig.
Wow. Thank you, Maura, and thank you, Sarah. What a killer demo. Piper, the AI SDR, can now work across every major channel, including the website and email, to generate pipeline for your company 24/7. Now I'd like to turn it over to Dan to hear from one of our fantastic customers and to get their initial reaction to Piper Email and everything that Piper can do for their business. Dan, over to you.
Thanks, Craig. I'm here with Scott Holden, the CMO of Brex, an incredible qualified customer. Hey, Scott, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Dan. It's a pleasure.
Well, you've had qualified now for about a year. Tell me, how's it been going?
It's been awesome. The partnership's been amazing. As we've talked about in the past, I'm a 2-time qualified customer. And while it's only been a few short months here at Brex, it's already been a ton of impact.
Well, I mean, you just heard we just announced Piper Email. So what are your thoughts on this announcement?
I mean, for me, it's a total natural evolution from where you all have already been. I'm super pumped about Piper and email. Naturally, like everything we do on the website, Qualified helps us basically track what's going on and respond to the customers when they're on our most valuable marketing asset, the website. And now the next obvious evolution of this is having, an AI-powered SDR be there to follow up when a customer shows intent and interest on the website. So I think everything you're doing here, just in terms of making life easier for our SDR team, is huge because, as marketers, we're always talking about like, what's the SLA? Who's going to follow up? How long is it going to take? What did they download? What are we going to say? Piper takes all the guesswork out of all of that. She's super fast and she responds with a better answer than a human would give in seconds. So it's pretty sweet.
Well, Scott, you know what? You're a super seasoned CMO and you spent the last 9 years at ThoughtSpot. Before that, you were leading marketing teams at Salesforce, and you've had a long history in really architecting all the B2B and the marketing technology world. what do you see happening right now?
Boy, everything's changing really fast. I mean, the power of AI in this particular use case is huge. I mean, a lot of the work that our SDRs do to follow up, it's kind of like very menial work. And so if we can have an AI worker like Piper step in and take some of that off of them so that they can sit back and wait for Piper to get a little bit further engagement, warm the leads up a bit for them to then have a more, productive conversation, it's huge. And it makes everything more efficient. And it also, like, what I like about Piper is that in many cases, she can be smarter than pulling all these different intent signals that you all collect from everything that's happening on the website and make that outreach back to the customer even better. So I love how AI has sort of captured people's imaginations, but you all are putting it to work in a use case, obviously, that's near and dear to the hearts of marketers like me.
Awesome. Well, Scott, do you have any final thoughts for us?
Keep up the innovation. I've been blown away with the pace at which you all are shipping new product. I mean, this AI world is moving super fast, and you all at Qualified are proving that you're keeping up and leading the pack. So well done.
Scott, thank you so much for joining us today. Craig, back to you.
Okay, so there you have it. Piper Email has arrived. This huge innovation makes Piper a fully autonomous AI SDR who can help you boost pipeline and efficiency. This is the future of PipeGen, and it's here today. You can sign up for our Trusted Tester program right now at qualified.com/Piper Email. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.